Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back here for another episode of ToleranceBreak, my podcast where sometimes we slow down a little bit. Alright, sometimes you have to take a break from everything, including making TikTok reaction videos every day. Alright, so today we're just going to be playing Minecraft. I wanted to do some stuff in the game, but I also wanted to yap a little bit and combine the two because why the heck not? Why the heck not? So let's get into this. If you do also want to help me out personally or the channel, down here is all of that good stuff. But that's if you want to. Let's just relax and play Minecraft a little bit. So, and I'll show you what we got going on the server, because I don't believe I've been on here in a while. Also, let me check those music volume levels. It looks like it all should be running smoothly. Okay, there we go. Then, if the music gets too loud, we can always turn it down a hair as well. But, I'm one of the Minecraft gamers that I like to turn the music on in-game because I just want it on 24/7, so I always have something playing. So, this is my Minecraft realm that I've made with my friend Chloe. And we have a little happy ghast right here. He's my little guy. But last time we were on, we were trying to make books to make an enchantment table. And if you don't know what that is and you're just some random viewer tuning in, this is where you can make your tools, basically like super tools in Minecraft. But in order to do that, you have to have bookshelves in order for the tools to be good. I don't know why that guy is standing inside of my cow pen, but he is being ever so rude in doing so. So, what we have to do here first is, I think we have enough wheat. Let's walk over here. How you guys doing? It's been a scary time to be alive. It's been a scary time to do anything, huh? But, let's come over here. Let's get all the cowboys ready. Boink, boink. Come on, baby. Sadly, this will lead to the end of the cows. But normally, actually, I make my cow farm underground, which I'm still considering doing that. So maybe while other shit's happening, we'll keep that going. But the seed that I got for this area isn't my favorite. No lie. No lie. Because I want to make my sugarcane farm, but it feels like it's not in the right area being over there. But I also don't want it to be too far away. So what do I do about that? I sit back and I say, I don't know. I don't know what I do about that. But I am looking at this area and I'm kind of liking where it's at. So perhaps, can we turn the sound of walking off? I'm a person that just doesn't like sound, so let's go players. Ooh, look at that. Because we don't have all the game sounds off, like, oh, I guess that turns that sound off. But sometimes it's good to just game and relax. You don't always need to have, well, sounds like that going on. That was just the song, though. That was just the song. So, one thing I don't have that I would need to have for this is lapis lazuli. And I don't think we have any of that for what I was just thinking. Interesting, because I don't want to go down and mine it right now. Because I just don't want to do that right now. But then again, I don't want a slow shovel. Questions and questions and questions. What do we do? How about, I mean, we could fill the area in with dirt, you know what I'm saying? Because I was thinking about taking the area out, but we could fill it in, have it at a higher level. But that would make it harder because then we'd have to keep building up as we would expand. You know what I'm saying? So, what to do? We could do it also this way. Let me cook. Alright. Give me the frying pan and let me cook. Because we could do something insane. Let's make 2 shovels. And then, let's take some of that iron out. We're going to make 1, 2, 3 iron blocks. Boom. And then look at that. We got a little anvil going. But, yeah, no, it's been a scary time to be alive. Scary time to be a person that wants freedom of expression. Where did my door go? Where did my door go? But, recently, Jimmy Kimmel was stripped off of air, off of Disney. And many, many people have canceled their Disney Plus subscriptions. Which I hope that's a trend that keeps on going. Because, you know, taking away free speech is pretty shitty. And I guess one aspect I never thought of this, and this is purely because I myself have just not experienced a lot of black media and like other people of other color media. And I saw an educational TikTok talking about how this has already been happening for years with other communities. And it was totally right. 1,000%. My thing, and it's not even a thing, it's just the reason why I haven't like been in outrages about other things like that is because I think the product of my environment. I just follow the media that's been spoon-fed to me my whole life. And that hasn't been a lot of like black YouTubers, a lot of black creators in that way. So when I saw that, I was like, you know what? Maybe this is the sign that I should be looking more into a diverse crowd of people. Because I do like everybody, every color of skin. I love everyone. And I hope that comes across in my content. But also at the same time, like, I don't know. It's on everybody to diversify their content. But if you're watching this and you're feeling like, oh, that you're not talking about me because of this or this, I'm not like attacking you or anything. I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw that TikTok, I felt like I was like, what? Not me. And it's not a you thing. It's a how the world is thing. I guess from my perspective, and that could be seen as different from everyone, right? So, because like I was saying, or this TikTok that I saw, this woman was talking about how nobody's talking about it till it hits a white guy. Like, maybe in my mind that should be not applying solely to me as an individual, but like to the white community as a whole. But then also, I think part of that issue goes back into algorithms and what people are being fed to watch, because that's being controlled by the very powerful people behind closed doors, right? Right. So it was just an interesting thought process when it comes to stuff like this. Okay, we are going to need a little bit of lapis to do what I want to do. Because, alright, why, you know, I'm not going to, ooh, we have a little bit, we have 15. Let's see if that has enough for me to do what I want. Even then, I think what I'm doing, it might be a little bit inefficient. Damn, efficiency too. Efficiency 1. And efficiency 1. Okay. And then we'll travel into the nether real quick. But I think, whoa, it's loud in here. I think when I was in that moment, when I was feeling like I was in some way being attacked by this video I was watching, I don't think I was also considering, like I was saying, the fact that this is the content that they want you to watch, that you've been watching. I think some of that has to do with what you interact with. You know, you build your own For You page and stuff. God damn, there's a lot of guys on here. So, yeah, I just think more people need to do more research to help speak up for others. Because I would like to think that I've always been a person that speaks up. But also at the same time, maybe I haven't been. Maybe I have for my own little small minute area of life. Maybe that's a talk that I need to have with myself. And I guess that's a talk that I'm having here with you guys. It's just been on the back of my mind. And now I am on fire in Minecraft. So, I don't know, man. And then on top of that, you know, you have everybody quite literally being under attack right now at the same time. And in one way, you know, Donald Trump is causing the Great Divide. But also at the same time, I think that's showing a lot of people that we need to also unite against this garbage. You can't expect change when no one is collectively fighting for it all together. Does that make sense? And also, I say that so absolutely, but I'm just a person. Whoop! Just like you. So, I think that is the right opinion. But also at the same time, I don't know if right opinions are right now. Not in like, we just have to be more considerate. You know, you can't turn everyone's opinion down unless it's fascist and evil and white supremacist like. I would say those are wrong opinions. Ask any Jewish person that was in a camp or somebody that was related to them. I'm sure they would agree. You know, I think my start into education of looking around was honestly quite recently, meaning the past probably 6 or 7 months of realizing what was happening in Palestine with all of these people being slaughtered just because certain presidents of certain countries can. And that's not okay. And it will never be okay, but you can only do so much when it comes to things like that. Like, I have a small platform on TikTok, so I like to repost, share, comment, all that stuff. And I try to do what I can because I am unemployed right now, and you know, people will tell you on the right now, like my parents, that, oh, it's not hard to get a job, but then in real time, it's actually happening, and they have to cave to small facts. I don't know if they want to. But I don't have money, so I use my voice, the small voice that I have. But people will still tell you that it's not enough. But one thing you have to remember is sometimes you're being told something to your face, and you have to remember you're online right now. You're watching a podcast. You're not doing not enough. You're doing what you can. But that doesn't mean you should stop yourself from trying to do more. Because I think there's a big excuse that lies within talking in that way. People be like, oh, but I'm only doing what I can. I can't do more. This video is telling me A, B, and C. It's like, yeah, true. But who is telling you to feel pent up and angry about what I just said or you just said? Nobody. I think that's a real course of action inside of your soul that tells you, hey, something's wrong right now. Don't be so adversary to your own feelings. Adversarial. God damn, these nether portals are loud, huh? Take feelings of adversity and dig into them. And this is honestly something that led me quite recently to finding more of myself. I had just realized that for a while, when I would see stuff I didn't necessarily agree with, I would kind of freak out. But then I had to ask myself the question of, why am I freaking out? And something that led me to be more accepting of myself was asking the question of, should I just cringe at things or live my life like a normal person? And I don't know if that question is weird at all, so I'll try to clarify. What I am saying is, should we write things off as cringe and move on? And I think I know the answer. The answer is no. What makes you cringe is someone else's joy. One thing, for example, that a lot of old people hate, that I have come to have actually quite a few friends who are furries. And now you're probably listening to that, and I'm assuming maybe one person in the future is listening to this going, oh, that's weird, I'm adversarial to that, I don't like that. That's okay. But ask yourself why, and really dig into that. And then think again to how you talk about to your friends and your family, how you're this big, kind, loving, accepting person. And now think again to what you were just thinking. What those people do doesn't affect you. And it never will. And you're now wasting negative energy on something that you've never needed to waste that energy on. And you're effectively just hurting yourself by hurting someone else. I would ask you, do you agree? But I don't know if you need to agree. I think you just need to take a deep breath. You know? Just breathe for a second. When's the last time you breathed for a second? That's something that's free. Not being hateful. Sorry if you can hear my dogs in the background. It's free. And I think a lot of people, myself included, do the assumptions. Big assumptions. And that's okay. Till a certain point. Because it's just like with any type of hurt. You think it should be one way. I think it should be this way. But the big question is the why, you know? And like I was saying, now I'm friends with people who are furries. They're some of the nicest people I've ever met. The nicest people. Like, so many people on my stream, like, have been a part of that crowd. Where I'm like, yeah, of course. This is just something that's developed over the years of your life. And that's you. And that's cool. That you have your own identity in this thing. Definitely, everything is weird and hard to warm up to if it's something that you've never seen before. But also, it takes 5 seconds to want to be a good person, I think. And then it takes a lot longer to actually continue that action. Because what is different for you and wrong for you is happy for someone else. When it comes to realistic things like stealing people off the streets, taking them away from their families, well, that's good for no one. And if you want to argue that, I would venture to say there is no argument, and you're a bad person. And maybe not a bad person, but a very uninformed one, and you should probably do some soul searching to figure out why those feelings are making you feel that way. Do people actually affect you? Or do you let it? You know, that's a question that made me mad hearing it from my family. And yeah, people do affect me. But also, does it? Because, like, there are some situations where things do affect you. But when it's on such a level to where now you're finding yourself kind of feeling disconnected from your kids, disconnected from your family, where, you know, you used to take them to church on Sundays and they would talk about this crazy, cool guy named Jesus who was loving and accepting of all. And now you're every day spewing hate and hatred about, well, this and this and this and this and this and this, and you're making mistakes, or you're making, not mistakes, but excuses for behavior that you maybe never would have made excuses for before. But now you're sitting here wondering why there's a divide when there's been a change in your behavior. God said to never judge a book by its cover, to not judge people by them on the surface. I mean, hell, God hung out with some of the worst people. But now if you're sitting there watching this and you are one of those people that's very adversary to anything that's different from you, why do you care? Ask yourself that question. And if it's out of hate that you think these things, well, I kindly ask you to reconsider. Because there's no room in a good person's heart. There's not enough energy to suffice that kind of act. Especially when things are going on like they are right now in the world. I have only, out of acceptance and love for others, have made friendships. Now, the people that don't love me and don't want me around, I don't be around them. I'm not around them. And I think that's just hard for people to grasp, because we all know how to make decisions. And decision making is quite easy. But what's hard is actually following through with a lot of those thoughts for a lot of people. You know? It's hard to live and let live. I think that was a phrase. Okay, we are now going to... We're going to make another shovel. Maybe two. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop, boop. We're going to go put some of this dirt away after we make our shovels. And we're going to keep digging. Kind of like we're talking about. We're going to keep digging. Why? Why any of this? Why do you feel the way you feel? Is it out of hate? Maybe. You're allowed to have those feelings. But if you sit on them forever, just kind of like anything, food-wise, it rots and becomes gross and smelly. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be a gross piece of food. I don't want to be a gross piece of food that rots. Oh my God, my ears. I might look a little goofy now, but my ears are hurting because of this hat. I have to pin it closed because the elasticity in it's kind of breaking down. Or I could switch to my green hat. We are playing Minecraft. Get ready. It's kind of like Finn and Jake from Adventure Time. Oh. Ooh. Oh, yeah, that feels great. Genuinely. Ooh, look, rain. Rain in the game. Oh, my God. Why is the sky getting so dark in the game? I don't know. You guys fucking with the new turtlenecks? But, yeah. These are all just thoughts on my mind a lot recently. Because I've moved home with my parents and, when, as an adult, you're at home, it can feel hard to have opinions because I want somewhere to live. And I am not at a point where I can fully support that. And so it can just be like, am I allowed to have opinions? And so I have my safe spaces where I come to talk about it. Something is clearly bad, but others want you to follow it that you love. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? If your values make you want to hurt others because you don't agree with it, why do you do it?
Jacob, will you want salad with your steak and rice?
Huh?
Do you want a salad with steak and rice?
Sure.
Okay. Come on. Jack wants it in your room. Come back, he's fine now.
Okay. One of the people I was talking about was just in my hallway there. She's making dinner right now. That's my mom. She is one of the kindest people I know, right? But also at the same time, something changed one year. Something changed one time. Don't know what it is, and I don't know if me as a person, that makes me weird for speaking about it, but like, I can remember as a little kid just hearing her say after when I was like, this was like when I was like 5, I was making comments on somebody calling them fat. I remember her telling me never to make a comment on people's bodies. And then the other day, we're talking, doing our little thing, and a trans person goes onto her For You page. Oh no. Oh shit, y'all. We're gonna have to lock in. But and this trans person was on my mom's For You page. And she was just being mean, calling this person ugly. Whoa, there's a lot of mobs. And I just remember asking her, I was like, would Jesus like you being saying something like that? She was like, no, you're right. No, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, I know I ain't. I've been no. And I think a lot of values get lost with personal perspective. That's why I was kind of saying earlier, like, really dig into why do you feel weird and adversarial against things. And it can be personal. But then why? Maybe take those angry thoughts and shit away. We are, for the sake of this podcast, going to turn down the mobs. We don't want to hear you. I think a lot of what I'm saying could be chalked up to just talking. But also at the same time, if What I'm trying to say is, don't fall where everyone else is falling, or you're just going to end up in the same place. You know. I just hope some people can listen to this and be like, wait, maybe I need to think more. And that could be for anything. Why you think someone is doing something cringe. Why you think someone is maybe funny in an offensive way to you, where you're like, ooh, why did I find that funny? I've never thought that was funny before. I don't know. All interesting shit, right? Very, very interesting. Bro, I would do mining, but everybody's out in evil right now. We're going to do a quick cut real quick. I'm going to pause the video, even though this song is a banger. We'll pause the song, and then we'll keep going along. I'll be back in 1 second. I am back. Banger returns. But, yeah. It's just all the loving people that I tried to know throughout childhood. I've noticed the older I've gotten that the veil has kind of come down, that maybe they're not as accepting as I thought. And so for that reason, it makes me sad, and I think it's good to talk about sad shit. The more you block out thought like that, how do you work through it? You know? How does one work through something without working through it? You can't just sit on everything forever. And I think, honestly, this is kind of therapeutic for me to talk about. Because I'm a naturally happy person. I mean, the older you get, you have to kind of harden up. Maybe we'll do another pause. But, yeah, it's just, the world's a lot to take in right now. And especially if you're an American viewer, you understand what I'm going through, because you're going through the same thing more than likely. Hopefully the algorithm's doing its thing and I'm on like-minded people's pages. I'm going to do something illegal. Weather clear. Alright. We do small cheats in this game because I would like for the continuation of this video to continue. But, yeah. I don't even know where I was at talking, what I was speaking about, honestly. It's hard to keep focus sometimes. One thing I've learned, though, as far as learning goes, is you gotta give yourself room to breathe. Because I was training for a job that will be unnamed, but I was learning how to type. And I found it actually very meditating, like very meditative, is that a word even? Because I realized I had to calm down. Because every time I was fucking up, I was getting angry. And you can't operate if you're angry. At least in my line of thinking. But also at the same time, I think you can operate while angry, because that is some of the best times I've had, like, learning growth is getting angry, but that's not the right way. And for somebody like me, I don't have any diagnosed ADHD, and I haven't in a long time. But I definitely have something going on. And it takes longer for me to learn. And it makes me feel bad that I can't be like everybody else, because I try so hard and nothing ever changes. But, you know, I think for somebody that gets angry fast, hearing a slow roll of "it'll be better" all the time when nothing changes can lead to feeling kind of hopeless. You know? And I'm not gonna lie, right now, I do feel hopeless. It's because I am angry, sad, and confused why so many people are so hateful. But when things that aren't affecting them, they're letting them affect them. But I think maybe it's in the way we act out that fear and that suffering feeling that we have to like really analyze and be like, hey, why are other people feeling this way? And if you look into the facts of it, and it's all just stupid and honestly it just doesn't make sense, maybe you can ask them and be like, show them why maybe they don't have to be so scared of A, B, or C. But also at the same time, I know a lot of people, like I was saying earlier, for myself, are in situations where some people will react so hard that they could be maybe kicked out of their living situations. And so don't make any stupid decisions if you're watching this and you're a younger person like me, please. Know who you're speaking to. But when it comes to being yourself, and this world right now can be very hard because, well, for someone like me, I go by they, them pronouns. I am gender fluid. A lot of people are going to label me for just existing as being a terrorist. I have never done any terror to anyone. In fact, I'm playing Minecraft right now. Hopefully this isn't terrorizing you. But you just have to keep your head up. And sometimes that can feel impossible. Maybe because it sometimes isn't possible. And somebody just telling you that sometimes can make it feel like you want to get deeper into that anger. And I'm going to give you some maybe unconventional advice or something you haven't heard. Get into it. Feel your emotions. Work through it. And then maybe take a deep breath and just be like, okay, I know my values. I know who I am as a person. I know what I can and can't do. And I'm going to operate within the bounds of those walls and try my best. And if people are still hateful to you, just remember what you're feeling is being felt by someone else. Even if you can't see it. I can't see it sometimes, a lot of times. You know? But you can still occasionally have small, minute wins. And those are the small things in life that you just have to keep on keeping on with. Don't talk to somebody that won't change their mind about something. You know, that can be wasted energy. But also, don't stop progressing yourself at the same time. If somebody is going to talk to you and tell you the same thing you've heard over and over again, maybe it's just like a sign that, they're a lost cause right now. But you keep working on yourself, and I feel like you'll be pretty surprised at what you can do in your own spaces. I never thought, well, I was delusional, and I was like, let me try this social media thing out. And I'm still delusional because I haven't really made success on YouTube. I'd like to. I'd really like to. But let's take TikTok, for example. I just gained a good amount of followers on there, but I've also lost a good amount of followers. But that not to that point, but yeah, I have to stay a little bit delusional in order to make it. You know? Yeah, because there's a point from faking it to making it where it's not faking, it's doing what you want to do and making it real. You know? Let me real quick just check to make sure my mom didn't text me. Oh. Oh gosh. Let's see. Somebody on YouTube Shorts has left me an insane looking comment. Actually can confirm former corrections officers when they say, like, you don't mean you bring stuff for them. It actually means you do your job, but you treat them. Huh. I do not know what that meant, but I think I gave them as a subscriber. I thought it was going to be a weird thing, because sometimes people be commenting weird shit on YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts are just weird in general. But, yeah, I just really myself, you know, I've been feeling weird, so I was like, let me dig into that and decompress a little bit. You're not wrong for being you or reacting the way you are, but you are wrong for doing nothing about it ever. But that's your own journey that you have to make your own way to, you know? Somebody can tell you to do A, B, and C, but there's still the rest of the alphabet, still 23 more letters you have to make it through, right? Nothing changes with nothing. And I hope you all watching, if you're feeling that same way, that you can all find that conclusion, you know? I know for me, man, breaking out of my shell, it took me years. But also it toughened me up to figure out that, hey, that's always going to happen. And it's okay. Sometimes you just have to let people be the evil that they are until they themselves get out of it. Meaning hateful people. Because somebody that's a furry to me is not bad. Somebody that has conservative values is not bad. Somebody that's different from me is not bad. But the effect of what some of these people are having on the world right now is bad. Taking people away from their families. This song is too much. I like it, but so keep fighting for people that need it. You know, keep doing it. But also fight for yourself, you know. You're worth it. You're worth more than whatever issue is going on in your life right now that's making you feel hopeless. And I believe you can make it out, you know. If I can have this thought process, a dumb gamer, well, you may be in a whole different field. And you might be feeling hopeless. That's okay. Just keep your head held high. And if you don't want to hear that, keep doing what you're doing. Just get on that horse again, brother. Man, I think I needed this podcast today more than maybe any of you. Because these are all talking points that I've heard but needed to come to that conclusion by myself. Yeah. Man. Life is strange. Strange how the brain works. Strange that people think they can control what others do when they realistically they can't. But hey, it's just a game theory. No, it's not. It's real life. I'm just thinking about MatPat. If you don't know who MatPat is, educate yourself. And you'll have a lot of entertainment to watch on the internet. Man. Why do people have to be so hateful? Is that a question we'll ever get the answer to? You think? I don't know. I hope people figure it out, though. In the way of, like... Ooh, we gotta go get another shovel. In the way of, like... Just, like, letting other people be who they want to be isn't bad. People that are bad inherently always have a way to be good, though. At the same time. And that's why, like... It's good to call others out, but... Maybe not be so angry. I will say there are some certain values, though, for myself where I'm like, I will not just sit back and be like, oh, fascism is cool. People being prosecuted for being themselves is not cool. Me wanting to be a person where you can't tell their gender, that's cool. You being a Republican and love being American, that's just cool. I love it. I love that for you. I hope you keep going on, bro. I hope you keep going on. Did I make it to the hole I wanted to? I did. There's never an excuse for an excuse. Because at that point, you're just walking in a circle. But, there's no but. I'm just kind of enjoying Minecraft. You know? I like this game. Really relaxes me. Makes me feel good. Man, why did Donald Trump have to speak like that? Now I'm just going to sound like him whenever I want to do an eloquent accent. Because, like, if you take the way he speaks down, hello. It can sound like fancy, but you know what kind of fancy it sounds like? It sounds like a rich boy fancy. And rich boy fancy is so annoying. It's like, what the fuck are you even on about, bro? I hate the immigrants. I wish all brown people would conform to what I want. I love Israel. Israel is my favorite. I will send them $1 billion more. So much more money. So much more Israel. You know what we should do? I bet you the cows are ready. The cows are ready. Ooh. Family's making some good food out there. I can sniff it. I can smell it. I can smell you. Love, love. Get that cow love. Oh, that smells good. That food smells good. I can smell you. That's how good it smells. Alright, cows. You're going to be really sad when I have to take some of y'all away. It's not personal. But it kind of is. Because I need, like, my own personal crafting or enchantment table that does the best enchantments ever. Hope you guys like my song. It's called Yeah. We got so much dirt now. I remember I was collecting a lot of dirt a while back in this game. I should have just made my sugarcane farm. Obviously. There's something about Minecraft music that puts me in that philosophical mood. You know? It puts me in a mood to just think, be better. Because I can like really sit back and just think and talk. I will say it was hard for me for a second at the start there. It was hard for half of a second there at the start because I was like, yeah. My. Ooh, am I fucking just a genius or something? The perfect amount of water. I think I'm a genius. I'm the smartest boy alive. Kidding. Oh boy. I'm a they them. Something that scares a lot of people. Because I just like to exist this way. I wish it wouldn't make people feel weird. Alright, so we're gonna do. So we're gonna come over here. And we're gonna put some of this dirt away. I wonder if you guys can hear the clicks from my little thing, from my mouse. I forgot what a mouse was called for a second. Oh yeah, we need to get buckets for water. Mine. Yeah, that food smells good. I won't lie. Sorry if you saw me like eyeing out the door for a second there earlier. I had to pause it because my mother is making some gruel. That's what British people call food, right? Gruel. Let's see if in this last minute before we have to pause, because I do. Maybe we'll end it off here. I might go on stream and play some games. If you want to follow me on TikTok, that is where I stream. I would do it on YouTube, but doing YouTube in the start can kind of feel useless to stream on. And I feel like that's totally understandable. But if you guys did like today's episode, if somehow this hits the algorithm and people listen and you want to hear more, let me know down in the comments. If you don't want to hear more, damn, remember what I said earlier? Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. But so I don't die when I go out to get my food, let's run back up to this house here. Beep, 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 beep. Gotta end off from the right end and off place, you know? Thank you guys for watching this. If you did, tried to go for a more laid back, methodical vibe. Hopefully you guys fucking with the turtlenecks. I know I love them. But like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, gang. I used to want to call people that watch the channel the Ashbrodians. If you like that, let me know. I'll see you soon. Thanks for hanging out.